Good day everyone, I am Janelle P. Santos and I'm going to discuss about the objectives of organizational behavior. But before we move forward to the discussion proper, I would like to give emphasis on these four terms in order for us to fully understand the discussion proper. So first term, objectives. Objectives is defined as turning goals general statement into a specific one of what is going to be achieved and when it will be achieved. Second, organization. Organization is a group of people working together in order to achieve a common goal. Third, behavior. Behavior is defined as the physical action of a person reflective of what he is experiencing around his environment. So when we add the second term and the third term, which is organization and behavior, we'll have organizational behavior, which is defined as the study of human behavior in organization, of the interaction between individuals and the organization itself. So, I have here 7 objectives of organizational behavior. But to clear things out, there are a lot more objectives of organizational behavior which can be found on the internet. But as for me, these 7 are the things that I think are most essential. So, first, to understand the employees better. So, organizational behavior studies help us understand why certain employees act the way they do and thereby predict how they will behave or act in the near future. So through this, we'll be able to know how to handle them properly. For example, you have a cheerful employee that turns out to be so silent one day. Of course, the workforce is affected. And you as a manager or you as the organization, you have to do something about it. Why? So why do we have to understand the employees better? In order for you or for us to work effectively and efficiently. So, the second objective is to understand the culture of an organization. We all know that the employees came from different places, from different province or from a different country. So therefore, they have their own certain culture. So we have to know the bearing of that culture to the culture of the organization. So why do we have to understand the culture of an organization? Of course, first is to bridge the gap between culture to culture. Of course, we want to have a harmonious working relationship. And that will only happen if there is no gap or there is no barrier between the employees. And when there's no gap and barrier, of course, we'll be able to establish a social system in the organization. And for our third objective, we have to understand how to develop good leaders. Organizational behavior help managers predict who among their employees have the potential to become leaders. And they mold these employees so that their leadership potential is utilized at its fullness. Next is to develop good team. So we know that there is no such thing as leader if there is no team to handle. And team is defined as a group of people working closely together and they are committed to achieve an agreed upon objective. So employees must work in coordination and is motivated to work together. Meaning, there should be a harmonious working relationship between the employees. Because if there is a harmonious working relationship between employees, of course, we'll be able to create an environment for the development of employees. And second, we'll be able to develop an effective behavior within the organization. And the fifth objective is to resolve conflicts and frustrations. Of course, organizations are not perfect. Therefore, we cannot avoid conflict and frustrations. And there are 2 ways to resolve conflicts and frustrations, which is first, to identify the reasons for conflict. Of course, you should know why there is that conflict or that frustration. And second is, after finding out the reason, is to eliminate or reduce the frustration and conflict. For example, you have an employee who works really hard in every task that you give, but you don't give him proper credit and you don't give him proper incentive for a job well done. Of course, that employee will be frustrated, will be disappointed. And of course, you have to do something with it and make sure not to do it again. And our sixth objective of organizational behavior is to increase productivity. So, how can we increase productivity? We have here to encourage and motivate the employees to work enthusiastically in the organization. And how will we be able to do that? Of course, we have to make sure that we achieve the 5 organizational behavior objectives that was mentioned a while ago. And for our last objective, we have here to find out ways for effective organizational development. For the past discussion, we are discussing about the development of the employees, development of a good leader, and the development in productivity. Of course, we have to think of the organization as a whole. And we have to find effective ways in developing the organization. And those ways are, of course, the past objectives that we have discussed, which is first, to understand the employees better. Second, understand the culture of an organization. Third is to understand how to develop good leaders. Then fourth, develop a good team. Fifth is to resolve conflicts and frustrations. And lastly is to increase productivity. And those are the 6 objectives of organizational behavior. But before I end my discussion, I would like to share a quotation from Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart and the richest person in the world when he died. He says here that people are the key. So we know that family is the basic unit of the society. And we have employees as the basic unit of an organization. Without employees, without these people, we are not able to finish anything because people are the ones who really work hard. People are the ones who think, who act, who does everything. And if there are no employees, there are no groups. And if there are no groups, we don't have the organization. We don't have the business. We have nothing at all. Just like families, employees should be loved, taken care of, and should be prioritized. Because as what I have said a while ago, employees are the basic unit of the organization. Thank you.